Okay. Can you see my browser?
Yes. Yes, I can see.
Oh, wow. That was quite difficult. Yes, I also made mistake in this one. And that's right. Actually, those that were difficult for me were difficult for you too. And one more. Okay. Not very successful. But you see, median 5, that means it was average difficulty, not too difficult. Here. Thank you. So here, the main point is that whenever it is antara, it is connected with dative. Okay, so it must be rukana. It's not connected with locative, which seems to make sense. It's connected with dative, and then we have here avate or avatam. So to fall, you fall into something. So it must be accusative. Cannot be locative. Avate. Tava or daya. So when it is upari, then it must be with genitive. So like this, also dative or genitive is the same thing. So tavatui hangte are the options. Tavatui hangte would be correct. Daya, we do not really have daya for you. Daya is a declination of she, or of her. Okay, let's continue. Sache nari paseyung nare. Nario and nari actually is both correct. And paseyung nare or nare paseyung, that's here. Nare paseyung is actually the same thing. Both paseyung nare and nare paseyung is correct. We will have in the upcoming lessons the lesson on the syntax, which means the order of words in the sentence, and you will find out that basically you can jumble up the words whatever way you want, and it's fine. Okay. But paseyanti definitely is not okay because we have here if. Paseyung nare or nare paseyung. Bataro Nari is okay. Bharia, bhariayo, both is fine. But ammayo, ammaro is different. And ammaro is wrong. You cannot take the feminine and make it in plural as ammaro. Not at all. You can do that with masculine, like bhattaro or pitaro, but you cannot do that with feminine. For feminine, it will have to be with Y. Y ladies. That's how you can remember that. Y ladies? Okay. So if it is a lady, that's Y. All right. Fire came into the house. Ravi is the sun. Agge is fire. So already from the beginning, you know that it's either this one or that one. Bhaginiyo or Bhaginiya. So Bhaginiya is of the sister. Bhaginiyo are sisters. So from here already you know that only this option is correct. Similarly, Bhatara is with brother. Bhataro are brothers. Dhenuya is with a cow. Dhenuyo are cows, and the rest is the same. Amhakang sasunang bhataro. So because it is of the mothers-in-law, you will have to use the dative. Sorry, genitive. Sasuna. Dative and genitive are actually the same thing here. Vapia or kulaya. So vapi is the tank. So because they went to the bank of the tank, then it must be vapia kula. To the bank of the tank. Vadaning or vadanam. So because vadana is the second noun group, it's a neuter, it must be vadana. And the root is vadana. So it must be like that. Take the chair and bed. So already from the beginning, you know that it must be one of these two because pita is the chair and vuttiya or vuttina. So vuttina, I think we didn't have anything of that kind, but because it's vutti, it's rain, and vutti is feminine, then it will have to be with y. Okay? Vuttiya rakhitum chatta sahetta tapehi or tapesi. So tapehi is when you order, when it's a command, imperative. Tapesi is when he did that. But it's an order. Take the chair. Monks go to cemetery. So Susanang or Susane. So because they go to cemetery, it must be Susana. Already from the beginning, you know, it's either this one or this one. And Dhanavanto or Dhanavanta. So in this case, is Dhanavanto for the genitive. Dhanavata would be of a wealthy person. But here it is the wealthy people. So it must be Dhanavanto. Nagarang or Nagare. So because they go to the city, you see, even it's mentioned here, it must be Nagarang. I was thinking I will remove the bracket, but now I see it's better not to remove. So you know they go to the city, they go Nagarang, you see? And they enter it, you see? Pavisankti, what? The city. So it must be an accusative. Take fire, the fire of the firewood quenched by water. So here, as you can see, each of them is in a different declinations and in a different declination. So it's because if the firewood, all of them except this one, that's true. All of them are in plural. Daruya. So daru is neuter. It's noun group 18. So I will check whether Daruya would be actually correct. Daruyaskar. No, it would be it would have to be Daruna. Daruna. Is it possible? Chakum. I don't have it here. Garu. Oh, that's so complicated.
Daruya is wrong.
Daruya should be wrong, right? But I want to find out what would be right. So that's actually Chakku. I need to search Chakku. Would have to be Daruna, right? Chakkuna. Yes.
Yeah,
That's right.
Chakuna, Daruna. Chakuna is same as Daruna.
I see. I'm sharing with you the window and not the portion of my screen. How am I going to do that? Okay, can you see it?
Yes.
So here you have, first you have nominative, then you have accusative, instrumental, and then you have Jakkuno Jakkussa. So it would have to be Daruno Darussa. All right, because this is of what? It's genitive. So it would be Jakkuno Jakkussa. In fact, is here. This is the genitive. Daruno Darussa. So Daruno Aggi Ambuya Nibbai. That would work. But that's
We are
not.
also not correct.
You think it would not be correct?
Ambuna. The actual form is Ambuna.
If Daru is um, if Daru is neuter and it is singular, then it should be declined according to Chakku, right? Daru, Chakku. And Chakkuna means with
Yeah,
the
correct.
eye.
I'm talking about the water, by water. So it's Ambuna.
Would have to be the same thing. You mean in the sentence? Yes, I see. This one would be correct. I see. This one would be
That is wrong.
That's correct. That's right. So the Daruya would have to be Daruno, Ambuya would have to be Ambuna. So it would be Daruno Aggi, Ambuna Nibbai. That would be the correct form if we used singular. Daruno Aggi, Ambuna Nibbai. But because this one is wrong, you will have to assume that by firewood, I mean a plural. And therefore, only one of these three must be correct. And the correct one out of these three is this one. Darunang aggi ampunan ba.
The second one also wrong, right?
Sure. All of these are wrong. Okay, it's a multiple choice question, right? So this one also, and this one is right. Darunang aggi ampunan ba. Do you think this is wrong?
That is right if it's plural form.
Sure. So Darunang of the word, aggi is fire, ambuna by what? By the water, by quenched. The mother saw the tears. Kumariya or Kumariyang. Kumariyang is locative, but because we are here talking about the tears, asuni, we will have to take the Kumariya as the genitive of who? And in genitive, it's only ya, Kumariya. Kumariya, Kisu Asune, Kumariya Asune. So they are the tears of the girl. But we further specify where are those tears, and they are in the eyes. You see? In the eyes. Sitwa bhattarang or bhattung. Here I also got wrong. So it's not bhattung because you need to properly properly decline bhattu, according to the ninth declination, ninth noun group. So we have bhattu. Yes, that's right. Bahu Bantu Bhikkhuvelo. Bhattu is not there. So Bhattu must be number 9. And so you need to take it according to number 9. So in number 9, you get, I actually checked this already before. If you look here, you take Bhattu, which is the husband. Then you see there's only one accusative, and that's Bhattara. Bhattara. All right. And these are the number 9 in G9. So it must be Bhattarang, and there's no other option. So Bhattung is wrong. It's difficult, I understand. But that's the point, that you memorize it and train and train and train. Evang or Tatha. Actually, Evang and Tatha in this case have the same meaning. So words. How might you eat curd and ghee? Kathang or Katha? Katha is speech. It's totally something else. Kathang means how. So already from the first word, you know, it's either this one or that one. Pape or papani. So because papa is the noun group 2, you need to decline it according to noun group 2. So papa, papani is the plural. Pape would be if it was papo, noun group 1. But it's noun group 2, so it must be papani. If you want wealth, why don't you request your brother? Sachetvang, vasung or vattung. This was a little bit challenging, but that's the point. We need to memorize the vocabulary. So vattung means ground, vasu is wealth. In fact, you will rarely see this word for wealth. It's extremely rare. This book, for some reason, is teaching us very rare words that will not be very useful for us at all. But doesn't matter. So vasu is wealth, but what's more common is dhana. Dhana. This is much more common for wealth. Vasu, no, I never, this is the first time in this book, that was the first time that I saw this word vasu. So sachetvang vasung ichhasi, kasma or kathang. Kasma is why, kathang is how. You see? We had it actually in the previous question. If you still remember, kathang, how might you eat curd and ghee? So then you have it again here, and here it's actually a wrong answer because we ask about why, not how. So kathang is wrong. We need to use kasma for why. Bhatarang or bhataring. Bhataring would be if it is a woman, but we do not have female brothers. Female brothers would be sisters. So in this case, we are asking about brother, and that's bhatara. And that's all. Any questions? Anything? Any concerns, worries, and anything you'd like to say? I'm happy to know that there was, or so it seems, no mistake in the test today. Yes, Hangmi.
Dear Venerable Sir, I would like to ask about the first question in your book, which is list. I see in the table that the locative of though is dying, but in your answer, I saw the option dava. Could you kindly explain it to us?
You need to tell me what is the question about, because your question number 1 will be probably a different question for me. So can you read for me the English?
I mean, if you stand between the trees, a thunderbolt
Oh,
will
this
fall.
one? Okay.
Yes, that's right.
So please, again, I did not really hear you clearly. What is the question?
Yeah, I mean, I saw in the table that the
Which table?
locative of
I
do
see.
is dying, but here you wrote Tava. Could you kindly explain it to us?
You did not see there the version Tava?
Yeah, I see it in the book and I copy it as my note, but I didn't see the word Tava in the locative case.
Oh, in the table.
Yeah.
Um, so this one is for the pronouns, but we do not have pronouns here, right?
Uh,
The table doesn't really show you pronouns, or does it?
Actually, I copied the table from the book. Yeah,
The
I
table
took
in the book.
I
Uh-huh.
took notes of by myself, and
I
I didn't see the word Tava as I remember, as I see here.
I see. I suggest that you always trust only the Anki because after I put things into the Anki, I memorize it and I go through it again and again and again and again, and I make there some improvements and changes and edits. So if you follow the Anki, it's always the most reliable source because I do not just like write it into Anki and then send you the collection. That's not how I do it. I prepare the collection for myself, then I memorize it for about 1 week. Then I make various edits and corrections and improvements, and only then I actually prepare the collection for you. So what you get is already a very carefully checked collection. So if you look here, for example, then you see for the dative we have tava tuihang te, and again tava tuihang te for the genitive. Can you see it?
Yeah, I see, but wait, so it is the locate. Sorry. So Tava he holiday is the genitive case, right? But I would like to ask about locative. The
Ask about
locative.
locative. Yes, tayit vai here. Tayit vai.
Okay.
Let's see how the course book says it. So if we look at the data genitive, tava, tuihang, te, it's there all. And for the locative, tvai, tai. Can you see it?
Yeah, I see that you wrote in the text that that is Tava. Tava.
Sure.
So do you mean that is the locative case or the
Actually, when we went through the answers now, I said that this is genitive. So let me see whether upare is what is upare connected with.
okay, yeah, thank you very much.
So if we look at upare, so in Anki, yeah, do you know how to see all these things? If you open your Anki in Windows, you need to click on this button Browse, and then when you click on the button Browse, then this big window with the vocabulary with the list will open for you. Then you just need to click on the correct collection by the left. They're called decks, the collections. You click on Pali, and then you search whatever you want to find out the vocabulary, and the examples that you want to search. So for example, here I want to search upari. I want to know how is upari used in a sentence. So I know that upari is up over, and here I have the explanation. So upari, and I can see that upari is connected to genitive, rukasa. And here I have another case, panasa. You see, again, it's connected to genitive. So that way I can easily find what I want. I find this Anki system very, very useful. And so here also must be genitive. Is it clear?
Yeah, thank you very much.
Any more questions? Any concerns? All right. So for next week, we will be finalizing the review. Okay. So the hardest things are coming. We will get exercise 16 and 17 review. And then we can move on. After that review, that will be our 20th lesson of this course. So we'll also prepare a certificate. So you will have another 1 week free. So next week we still have class. Then the other week we will have, next week we have our review. So that's, I will tell you in dates. So so on 23rd, on the 23rd, oh, what happened? On the 23rd, we will have our review. Then on the 30th of January, you will get certificates and we will say thanks to each other. Then in February, the first week, 6th, you will have free, there is no class as a holidays. And or do you want holidays, or should we just start writing? Should we just continue? Who would like to continue right after the certificate lesson? Raise your hand if you would like to continue. I would like to continue. Anyone else would like to continue? Because you already will have 2 weeks, right? Because the certificate lesson doesn't provide any test. There is nothing to learn. You already will have 2 weeks. So now we are voting whether you want to have 2 weeks or 3 weeks free. So I'm voting that 2 weeks is enough. I'm also learning, so do not think like, I should Sarana knows it. Of course he wants to go fast. No, I'm also learning. It also takes me a lot of time to study it, to write it down, to make the pronunciation. Okay, so we have 50-50, so we know nothing. Now somebody needs to, yes, very well. Thank you. So we will have 2 weeks. So next week we have the last test, then we have the certificate, and then we will continue with exercise 18, and we'll go gradually 18 until 24. Then we will again do review, and then we will go 25, 6, 7, 8, and then we will move on right to the next volume of this book. The book has 3 volumes. Now, this first volume has 28 exercises. The advantage of this first volume is that we have the solutions. For the second and third volume, up to my knowledge, there is no solutions are not available. So we will be a little bit, in a disadvantage. But we will do our best. That's the way how we can do it. But I would like to go through all of the 3 volumes. Some of you have suggested that you would like to restart the course. Now, what we can do is, I of course do not want to restart the course. I'm happy where we got and I want to learn more. But because there are some more requests for this course, for Pali Course, to restart it again, not just from you, but from totally new people, what we could do is we could set up a new strand of this course. That means along this course, we would have another course for Pali, which would do the same thing as you do here. It's just that the other one would start from the beginning. But at this moment, I wonder who would like to organize that. So I wonder if that would be too much for Ma Nuyana Hai. But truth is that you don't have to write the test, in in the second course. You would be just coming and being there and sending the tests that you already have. I think I will give you access to our website, where we write the tests. So you can easily take the link. You can come there. I will be there too. People will ask questions. I will answer them. That's all. So it will take you about 1 hour a week. What do you think?
Okay, if I can share some time.
Okay.
Mm,
Yeah, we can discuss that in Viber. What would be your preferred time and what to do next?
okay.
Yeah, and you can also repeat because you can do the tests, as an organizer, you can check whether the tests work and whether everything is right and so on. So it will actually be an opportunity for you to repeat from the beginning, and moreover help others, because as you repeat, as you check these tests, you will help them by making sure that they work, that technically they're, that they technically can be open and answers can be answered, and they get the results and so on.
Yeah, I will do.
Yes, Hasso has a question. Hasso, I see you're raising your hand. Can I do something for you? No? Okay, no problem. So thank you everyone for coming. May you be happy, may you be healthy, and may you be successful in everything you do.
Thank you very much, Sadhu.
Thank you very much, Bante.